Okay. Well, we're talking to Carol Jambor-Smith, and she is the warden at the Church of the Atonement, senior warden, and we're preparing for the stewardship campaign and for this fall and for 2012. And the question that we pose to Carol right now is, Carol, what is it about atonement that convinces you that this is a place for you to worship, to develop spiritually, and to grow in relationship with your spiritual family? What excites you about atonement?
Well, first off, thank you for letting me talk about this. I've been at Atonement since, I think, March of 2007. I live maybe 4 blocks away, and I'm a cradle-born Episcopalian, so I recognize the Episcopal shield. So when I saw at the corner of Ardmore and Sheridan our shield, I was like, yay, there's an Episcopal church within walking distance. I think the thing that really reeled me in spiritually at Atonement is the fact that we do such a good job of helping all of us balance our witness of our faith, the work we do out in the world, with the working that we do on our faith. One of my favorite phrases, which keeps me humble if ever I think I'm getting ahead of myself spiritually, is St. Paul referencing his work on working on his faith with fear and trembling, and the notion that we always need to be working at our faith and never take it for granted. But I think of all the wonderful outreach activities that we do. Simple things. When I can't imagine a more welcoming place when one comes here for the first time. I'll never forget our beloved rector being so warm with me after my first 8 o'clock Mass here. One day during the week, I was happy to attend a 7:30 Mass, and Stu Watson invited me to come back to the kitchen and have a cup of coffee and a piece of cake with some people. And I felt this is a place that's really good at bringing people in. So I think that we do that in small ways, but then think about all the outreach that we do. The work we do with Care for Real, the work we do with our local schools, and the work we did with Haiti, the mosquito nets we raised money for. So we're working on mission trips, going out in the world. We're working on our neighborhood. We're working within the diocese. So there's so much outreach that goes on. But then I think that outreach is balanced with a very good testament to us working on our own faith. Our masses, Mass is said every day here at Atonement. That's a very rare but wonderful thing. Recently, my ex-mother-in-law has been ailing. She's been failing, actually, this year, and I've been participating in her care. And most recently, she became gravely ill, so ill that I thought that she was really not going to recover from her illness. And one of the things that happened is that she was admitted to Skokie General Hospital. And who is on the 8th floor is a wonderful nurse at Skokie General Hospital, but Joe Goss, who was my ex-mother-in-law's nurse for several nights while she was there. One day, our beloved rector came and visited my ex-mother-in-law. He doesn't know her, but he knew that it might be important to me that he come and have a conversation with her and offer her a blessing. The parish prays for my ex-husband, my children, because their names are on our prayer list during this difficult time. But then people from the parish have been so loving with me and have emailed me or called me or during a service when they see me, if they know about my ex-mother-in-law's illness, have talked to me and assured me that I'm in their thoughts. So what a package that is of faith and witness and example. So I would say that's why I'm here. I know that this is where I'm meant to be, and I'm very glad that I saw that shield, rusty though it may be, Jeff Ing, remember, and that I stayed. It's been wonderful for me.
Next question is, when we consider things financial, there's both a spiritual dimension to that and, of course, the reality of our finances here at church and our own finances. And what do you think about, what do you pray about, what do you consider when you consider making a financial commitment to the church?
You know, being on the vestry, I'm very aware of finances. So I'm very aware of how important pledging is for the financial well-being of Atonement. We have people that pledge faithfully, I think in a way that many parishes may not experience. And I think, of course, that's very much tied into the important role that atonement plays for us in our individual lives, and then in our lives as we look to be witnesses out in the larger world. I will confess that the notion of tithing is one that for most of my adult life has been, I'm going to say, off-putting. There was a long period of time as a single parent with children. At one point, one child in college, one child in private high school. At another point, 2 children in college. That there was no way that I could ever consider tithing in the true sense of 10% of my income. And I think for a period of my life, I have felt guilty about that and have been not motivated by that, quite frankly. I think I've grown up a little bit, perhaps it is time, to think about my pledge as being a reflection of my stake in atonement as an individual and then as a group of this wonderful parish that we find ourselves in. And so I think that every year I pray about that stake, what it means to me personally, what it means to me to be a member of this community, and what is the increase that I can do. An increase that's aspirational in that it's a little bit of a financial stretch, so that I'm thinking about it. I want to give enough money that I'm self-conscious about that. But I also want it to be a realistic stretch, because I know that through the pledges, we create our budget, and I don't want to say, well, I can give X number of dollars, sort of thinking maybe I'm not going to be able to follow through, but that'll be okay. So I think it's both aspirational, but it's realistic. And it's predicated on my sense of the role that atonement plays in my life and how important that is to me.
Thanks.